Hello everybody, my name is Lego Lee and welcome back to LEGO Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker set review. Today we have Dio, the unofficial Ultimate Collector Series or UCS Dio set. This set here retails for $70 US, more on that price later on in the review. It has 519 pieces. I got my copy at Target and here's a front look at your surprisingly glossy box, and I think the graphic designer of LEGO really chose an ugly background for this box. I know it's accurate to the movie, but it just doesn't look super appealing on shelves. And here's a quick look at the back of the box as well. This set has a rather long vertically instruction manual right here. It's a tall boy for a tall boy of a build with 68 pages of building. And here is the build of the set itself, the unofficial Ultimate Collector Series Dio. And like most UCS sets, of course, this build is on a display stand. However, the stand that Dio is actually on himself is kind of representing some rough terrain for the droid to be on, but you do also get a plaque that is actually a small separate build. It has a nice sticker piece right there with some specifics about the character, and then off to the side you can see the Dio minifigure included with this set. It's just one very simple small piece, but I think it's appropriately cute. It looks pretty good. However, it comes on a couple of other Rise of Skywalker sets, so it's nothing exclusive or new. Speaking of the terrain-based stand, that's where we'll start here with the Dio build itself, and this thing is completely locked in place onto this piece right here. You can't remove it in any way, shape, or form, and additionally, definitely one of my least favorite aspects of this set is Dio's wheel has no ability to roll whatsoever. It's completely stagnant. However, it does look so good, and I think it would have been a huge challenge for the LEGO designer to figure out a way to make it actually roll, so they had to compromise here a bit, but it does hinder the accuracy of this build and the playability a good bit. But if you can learn to forgive that big flaw with this wheel, this design is awesome. It's seriously so good. It's almost immaculate how great this build looks. Now there are little spaces here and there. That's very understandable though. Making this round of a shape in LEGO form is ridiculously difficult, and they just completely killed it with this design. It's a building technique that I have literally never seen. It almost felt like I was cheating. Like it almost seemed like the building techniques here were illegal, but after some further research, they are not illegal building techniques, just incredibly clever, and the way they detailed up this wheel is so spectacular. It's one of the best designs I've seen on a LEGO set in a very long time. These kind of outer sections of the wheel here, these designs are a little bit clunky, but I think they look pretty good for the most part, and this side kind of has the neck of Dio, which can move us up towards his head. Now, this neck design in the film has a very loose and interesting attachment that doesn't seem very stable, and I'm sure that was definitely a problem for the designer of this set, but yet again, they pulled it off here with flying colors. I mean, look at this. It's not attached by a whole lot, but the way they built this up, it's perfectly stable, and it actually is very playable as well. Even with those aforementioned limitations with how thin the neck design is, they were able to fit a play feature in here. By twisting this wheel piece, you can move his head up and down here. It doesn't move a whole lot, but with these two pieces and the Technic rods, and you can see them moving, it works very well, and it holds its position decently well, but sometimes gravity tends to pull it down right here, but that's fine. This is a great, simple, but extremely effective mechanism that just gives this character some extra life. You can follow the tubes up the side here. These designs are really great, and that brings us to the head section of Dio right here. And another great, very simple mechanism here is by twisting on this piece, you can rotate his head 360 degrees very freely. Now, it is a pretty loose attachment, so sometimes if you're moving this character around, gravity likes to do his thing and it'll kind of just drift into a certain position, but it still works really well, and yet again, brings a lot of life to this little LEGO droid. Unsurprisingly, the cone head-shaped droid from the film is using the big LEGO cone pieces. These are pieces you'd see like on a rocket ship or something, and they look really good, and they are printed. These are printed. The prints look flawless. Also, the little nose part right there is printed as well. I think this head design, I mean, it's a very simple design because obviously he's got a cone-shaped head, and they just use cone pieces, but it looks great. It really looks great and really captures the character's appearance very well. Also, these antennae at the back back here can be adjusted as well for some added playability. And all of this coming together, I think, just makes a really good looking Dio character. I will say his head, proportional to his body, especially based on the movie, it's a little bit big. It looks a little bit bobbleheadish in my opinion, but it's not too bad, and it's definitely a forgivable small flaw. Bringing everything together for the conclusion of this review, from a design standpoint, there are a few little small flaws with this Dio build, yes, but I think for display purposes, it looks great. It captures the appearance of this character so well. I think the designer really knocked it out of the park for the most part with this build. Now, let's get to the main flaw of this set. I think you all know what's coming. It's almost cliche at this point. It's like every single LEGO Star Wars review I do these days, you always have to get to this portion of the review. And that's when LEGO Lee starts to complain about the price of this set. But this one is particularly bad. Our little friend Dio here costs $70. Now, there are a few ways to look at the price of a LEGO Star Wars set. First off, there's price per piece. I love price per piece. I love numbers and equations and things like that. Price per piece, I think, is a really good golden rule. You want to chase after being 10 cents per piece. 70 bucks, 519 pieces, big oof right there. That is not a good price per piece. This thing, rounding up, is around 14 cents per piece, which is just not good at all. However, price per piece is not the end-all be-all factor when it comes to judging the price of a LEGO set. Sometimes something might have few pieces, but the pieces are larger and the build itself is big. This thing is not particularly large for $70 either. Now, I think the best way to compare the price of this set to others is by bringing in a set with the exact same price. That is the 2018 UCS Porg, another small creature from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Now, I think Porg is actually a pretty good price compared to Dio. You might be like, wait, Lee, Porg is actually shorter than Dio, and if that's what you're thinking, you are correct. However, Porg here, I mean, just take a close look at his side profile. This is a chunky boy. There are so many layers of pieces with this build. And then Dio's side profile here, oh, he's kind of skinny, and actually mostly skinny. And while he is a little bit taller, there is not a lot of girth with this Dio build. Additionally, Porg had 811 pieces, nearly 300 more parts than this Dio build. You guys getting the picture here? This is an awful deal for this Dio set because it's a skinny build, it lacks a lot of depth and substance, and the price per piece is bad, so all of the factors for the price of Dio here are just coming together to making this thing an absolute ripoff of a LEGO set. And ultimately, I think it's really sad that this set is such a bad price because I think it's a very good design. It also doesn't really help, though, that Dio was a fairly forgettable character with not a whole lot to do in The Rise of Skywalker, which is just not a great Star Wars movie in general. So a lot of factors are really working against this set, and I feel bad for the designer, who I think really made such a great design for this character, but ultimately their project is falling a bit short because of a lot of other factors that are beyond their control. My final rating for Dio here is going to be a 6.5 out of 10. Those are just my thoughts, though. Love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, guys, while you're at it, please like this video, share the video with all of your friends, like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I post daily content over there, and if you like this video, if you like my channel, maybe consider supporting me on Patreon. You can find me on Patreon at LEGO Lee. Literally $1 a month goes a long way for making awesome videos like the one you just watched, and thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I hope to see you guys next time on LEGO Star Set Reviews. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.